some viewers might remember this Process case right here. Now I've got probably a few thousand of these things, but this one in particular is housing the AOpen, what is that, AK77-600N or something similar. You can tell because of that purple heatsink that says Evercool on it. And you can see an AOpen logo on the Northbridge heatsink. You probably also remember that I've got this freaking massive full tower case that right now just has a MicroATX ECS motherboard in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the parts out of that Process case and put them into this, because I think that this is a better case for it anyway. So I'm going to get started by emptying out this case, and then we'll see where we go from there. I'll probably replace these different slot covers, because I don't really like these ones. They don't really match the case anyway, so I'll probably find some different ones to use. Alright, so here's a look inside. I'm going to go ahead and take out that optical drive, and I may take out that hard drive as well, depending upon what's actually in the other system. But certainly the cabling is all going to have to be pulled out of here. So I'll probably pull this stupid blue ribbon thing out of here anyway, because I really don't like those. They're kind of a pain to deal with at the best of times. So we'll see what all I pull out. Probably going to pull out this featherweight piece of crap power supply too while I'm at it. I've got plenty of better ones. One of the nice things about this case is the removable motherboard tray. So there you can see, there's the K7SEM motherboard and all of its blown capacitor glory. It's got several blown caps on it, mostly confined to the voltage regulator. But we're going to pull that off, pull this out, and I'll get the other system and start pulling it apart. Somebody's shooting off fireworks. You hear it, I'm not really sure why. Could be in relation to the, as of the making of this video, recent passing of the Queen. That's certainly a possibility. It's come to mind, but I'm not really sure why they would have waited until today, but... Okay, I pulled the board off of the old plate. It's a real pain to get that off, because it's got these stupid standoffs that I hate. I've also gone ahead and installed the I/O shield on the new motherboard tray. And that includes the standoffs. I've also repositioned. I'm hoping that they're in the right position for this. I have an extra standoff that can just sit over there. It doesn't really matter. It's not needed. So, I think I'm going to pull this, which is probably going to be a pain in the butt, because I really don't like these ones in particular are just kind of a pain to get out. So we'll do that and hope for the best, I guess. Okay, skipping ahead, I've got all the cables hooked up, hopefully correctly. I did go ahead and plug in the case speaker just because I think I prefer the full-size speaker over the little piezo beeper that's on the board. I have no idea if it's going to use it, or if I need to change a jumper setting or whatever. I really don't care. So, it's there. Might as well plug it in, right? So now I just got to get the power supply installed. Okay, there is the new power supply. Nothing great, but it's there. And that'll be that. I don't really need anything that's 80 plus certified or anything particularly fancy, so that should do. Somebody's probably going to mention that there's supposed to be a drive cage up here. I'm surprised nobody mentioned it in the original video that it was missing this cage. But in a way, I'm actually kind of glad it's missing that cage, because I think those things are absolutely retarded. And yes, I said what you think I said, and I meant it. I hate those things, because all they do is just get in the way of trying to plug in the cables for the optical drives and for the drives that you put in that drive cage. So if it did come with it, I would just take it and I would throw it out into the garbage where it belongs, which is probably exactly what the original owner did. Probably a little bit more of a bit more honest commentary than I would normally go for, but seriously, I hate that design. I do not know why manufacturers thought that it was cool to do that instead of just putting the drive bays in the front where they belong. They're still doing that these days. They put them in the back, or they put them behind the motherboard tray. At least with SSDs and modern 2.5-inch drives, that kind of makes sense. But why? Why? I don't get it. It makes it so difficult to service a computer. You're going to replace a failed drive by pulling out all of these screws for both side panels, pulling them both off, and it's just complete unmitigated disaster. Alright. Ready for it to blow up? I'm not. That's probably exactly what it's going to do. Alright. Video beeps. Why? There's nothing wrong with the video card, so here we go, I guess. There we go. Just use the good old wiggle the card trick. Works just fine. Let's take a look. Well, I don't think the battery is any good, so I'll probably have to replace that. But at least it looks like it sees everything else. 1 gig of RAM. I could probably do better than that. Of course, you can see all the jittering in the video. That's not a fault of the cable or the monitor. That's just that this video card sucks, which is probably why it didn't work. So, it did see that new optical drive, right? Yeah. So, it says RW DVD, but it's just a DVD-ROM. I hope it actually works. Well, sort of. It works well enough that should be fine. Let's see. Advanced BIOS settings, that was just in there. Chipset features. I could actually probably overclock this if I really wanted to, but I don't, so I won't. I have no idea what CPU is actually in this. So I'll have to figure that out. Looks like it does not see System Fan 3. Do I think it's running? It is not running. Okay, so I don't know if that fan is just dead, or what's going on. I'll probably have to replace it, but that's fine. Ah, there we go. Frequency and voltage control. So I could like I said, I could overclock it if I wanted to. We designed this board with pride. Alright. I'm going to set the date and time on this, and then I'll go ahead and see if it boots into anything at all. Fan slowed way down. I have no video again. Oh, what a piece of garbage. There we go. A new video card is probably in this thing's future. Disk boot failure. Yeah, there's nothing on that hard drive. I never think I installed anything, so... Alright. Gone ahead and moved it in this case, and I just gotta figure out what exactly I'm gonna do with it. It might actually become a Linux system. I may go ahead and install some flavor of Linux on this. In fact, it might just be Linux Mint. I think I've got a Linux Mint disk out here somewhere. But I don't know if this thing is good enough to actually boot over USB, so we'll probably save that for later. In fact, it's 9:30. I should probably go inside before the mosquitoes start to get ridiculous. So, put the covers on this, and we'll call it good for now. We'll have to get an operating system at some point. But, as far as this video is concerned, that is all that I've got.